Hello, welcome back to Vlogs with Dev. That's something I came up with the other day. Anyways, it's Friday night, almost bedtime. It's past bedtime. It's literally like 12 p.m. But I had 2 beer with my mom, had some nachos, used my camera today. That's exciting. This is a new camera. I've been using my phone like for videos. But I just felt like getting a new camera felt more professional in a way. It just felt like a part of me was just like craving a camera. So here we are. It's nice though, I like it. I wanted to get emotional right now. Literally has 2 drinks and is ready to get emotional. But I feel more vulnerable right now, so I might as well go with it. There's someone on my mind constantly, a lot, who I care about. Definitely mixed emotions toward this person. Like emotions of all kinds: anger, joy, like forgiveness. Not so much resentment that I've noticed, which is good. You see, when it comes to like catching feelings or like having feelings for someone, like I didn't really do much of that growing up. Like I was closed off a lot growing up, and I still am, like very closed off to people when it comes to actually allowing myself to feel emotion for them. So when this happens, I'm someone who likes to express it, except I feel like a little bit of embarrassment or like humility comes along with expressing your emotions, because everyone's emotions like are different towards other people when they're in a relationship, and like everyone's love language is different. Bruh. Lay off the Marahoochie. Okay, back to it. When it comes to like showing people that I care for them, lately I'm into like vlogging and stuff like that. That really helps me, because I think it stems from like growing up and like watching so much YouTube, first of all, and watching people like just speak to the camera about whatever they'd like, and like opening up about whatever they'd like to open up about. Let's see if I can make this more comfier right now. Stand this up. There we go. That works. Enough, I think. Does that? I look very pale, but that's okay. When my grandfather died back in 2018, something just began to switch in me, like emotionally. It was more real. I mean, the only other extremely close deaths that have occurred in my family were from like my great grandparents, so like my great nan, my great pop. And when they passed away, it was before grade 6, so like grade 4, grade 5, like you don't feel as much towards it as when it occurs like later on in your life. And I always knew somehow, like I always had an interest in like making some type of content, or just videos, just making some type of video. Was never completely sure that I'd actually do it though. And then after that occurred, and once I started doing this, I just felt like it was a constant like photo album that can always be there, even when a person is like passed away. you know. You can still have footage of them, like you can still have and feel a deeper sense of connection by like watching them on film. And like there's videos of my grandfather, and I like that. It's not everyone likes that though. Like my nan, for example, it was her husband, so she doesn't exactly. I'm not sure if how many videos she watches of him, but like there's a video of him playing guitar and singing. My pretty blue eyes, I went out away. Well, I guess I'm about it.
Hang up for another while, mate. Huh? Hang up for another while.
I suppose
Clear up again.
No, I got a card.
and I wish he would go there.
Wait, clear right out.
Yeah, like, hang up for a while. Ah, it's not sticking. It's not sticking. Has belt nose, fez his name.
They have to go to me now.
And then it won't
They're calling.
be dark and lonesome while waiting for Mama to come. That's all it knows. And I was comfortable watching it, but my nan, on the other hand, like, she would have cried. And see, to me, I just view crying differently. Like, I don't like to be sad all the time, but when I cry, I like it because I feel better afterwards. It feels nice to me to cry. What am I even getting at with all of this? I feel like I owe explanation for some reason to myself, because I think what it is when I'm explaining it, it's also a reminder as to why I even started picking up and like speaking to a camera in the first place, because I spent so many years, just like so many other people do across the world, across the planet, being quiet, being like closed off emotionally. And I just realized once I started like allowing myself to like date someone, or allowing myself to like cuddle a boy, or like I realized I'm beginning to realize how much I cut myself off from my own emotions. And it at times, like, relationships can be hard, life can be hard, like no matter who you are. I just know that like something occurs in my mind when I start like caring for someone. Something new happens, like my mind opens up. I start getting new thoughts. I start thinking in a new way, and like, yes, a lot of like sadness comes as well, and anger. It just all, for some reason, seems to become easier to deal with internally, and that sort of makes like the opening up and the expressing myself and like telling people I care for them more worth it. When you go through a lot with someone though, whether it's your mom or your dad, and like you have trauma, or you've experienced like a lot of drama or negativity, like it can be hard to like be the same way that you were. Like it can be hard to open up again. Like it's very, very easy to cut yourself off. And what I've learned is that you're doing that not so much because you're scared of like caring for someone, or being cared for. That more so happens because you're scared of being hurt. So you just cut yourself off. You close yourself off. You aren't talkative, or you don't communicate like the same way that you once did. And I think this happens in like many relationships. But this helps me, like opening up like this. To sit down with another human and talk like this, yes, I can do it. It's just that speaking with another human, like they're going to talk back and add onto it, and I sort of sometimes like I can get lost in the conversation, you know, I can get distracted in the conversation. Whereas when I'm doing this, I take it at my own pace as much as I can, and the only one really talking back is like what I've learned. Like, so this helps me process life for some reason. And I know not everyone's always comfortable with like being on camera. And I respect that as much as I can. Like earlier, my sister asked my mom to take a picture with her, but my mom had her hair up like in a towel and stuff like that. Like, and she wouldn't necessarily. She was saying no. Like, she wasn't like being demanding about it, but she was saying no. So it's like, if someone says no, like, respect that. Respect that word as much as possible. It's just like, to me though, from my perspective, I was like, Mom, like, you can be on camera, like, you're looking okay, it was like, you're fine, like, it's just it's the real raw, candid, like, moment that matters. In 5 years from now, like, my mom's not gonna be sitting down and thinking like, damn, that picture they took one day with my hair up in a towel, like, oh, I look so bad in that. Like, she's not gonna be like that, but it is quite often where people are like, damn, like, I'd like to have more memories with this person, or these people. And I feel like sometimes, this is sort of my first time saying this out loud, or like even thinking it through, but I feel like sometimes I can come off, or I feel like I'm coming off too strong with people, like if I have a camera on the go or something, perhaps as though I'm forcing too much, or like being an inconvenience or something, even though that isn't like the genuine intention. Like, I feel like the camera almost helps me be in the present moment a lot more. It helps me observe and be more alert in my environment as to what's going on. This is over 11 minutes long. This isn't what I was expecting at all. I was just going to like talk for like a minute or so, not even, and like pick up again tomorrow. So I'll just make do with what I have here now. Keep going with it. It's Friday night, I said that already. I just would like to... I'd like to even give people an outlet. Like, last night, I was falling asleep, like in bed, laying down, and I started thinking about my cousins, and their mother actually passed away. And I just started thinking about like doing this with the camera or without the camera. Like, it doesn't technically matter, but I was thinking about just like having the camera in my hand and being like, hey, like, let's just talk about your mom and like the kind of person she was to people. Like, let's just keep the life of your, like, the image, the imagination of your mom going. Like, that's what was going through my mind. Now, I haven't done it yet. Like, I haven't said this to my cousins or anything, because that's just different. It's not exactly what you see. Not for me personally. Like, I don't see people talking about their loved ones who have passed away all the time. Like, yes, it gets brought up in random moments, but it's not something you hear about a lot. And I just feel like it has to be normalized, to speak about that a lot more, because it allows us to like grieve and to like still understand that even when someone has passed away, there's still like a massive part of us. Like, they're a part of our DNA, especially when they're family members. And it gives me a purpose. I feel like it gives other people purpose. It gives people an outlet. It gives people a sense of comfort, as though someone cares. Like, it may not seem like it, and I may not be the best at showing it to other people, or even like knowing how to show it to people. However, when it comes to like mental health and like mental well-being and like the mind, like I care about it a ton. I think about it all the time. I think about like other people's brains, other people's minds. I just think about it all the time. Other people's health overall. That's all for right now that I'm going to continue to say for now. So that didn't make sense. Speaking of like my health and my brain, like I have to get rest. For people who like have anxiety or experience a lot of anxiety in their life, like sleep, a great night's rest is seriously one of the best, like what's the word, treatments for that. The thing is, it can be hard for people to fall asleep. Like I get that a lot. However, I notice that like when I'm talking or when I'm opening up, I begin to feel more safe, more comfortable. Even if it's like writing in a journal, typing on my computer. For me though, like hearing my own voice or just a voice, hearing sound, you know, in general, and like allowing the energy to flow through my mouth, come out of my mouth instead of it just being clogged in my brain, like this helps a ton. I definitely have been experiencing the fear of like annoying people. Basically all just anxiety. I've been experiencing a lot of anxiety. It has halted me from like posting videos. It has halted me from like just sitting down and opening up, like. And I realize that the it that I'm referring to is basically just myself and my own mind. However, I do manage to overcome it. I do film stuff and then I don't ever post it because I'm so in my head, and like I just gotta learn to just go through with it all, because I know that no matter what kind of views I have or like what kind of feedback I get, my words can still manage to help someone. They help me, so I imagine them to help other people as well. I'm also a little bit obsessed with this camera. Like, anyways, I'm bragging, but it's something I'm grateful for, though. It genuinely is. It's been a long time coming. Me having like a decent camera, other than my phone. Like I know the phone cameras are so great. I don't know. I would get too pressured, like having all my messages on my phone and like talking into the camera on my phone and like knowing that like the social media apps are like in my phone. Like there's just something about keeping it separate, like keeping it organized. I feel like this helps me organize it a lot more. I love like how I can actually look into a lens now and like look straight. Basically, to wrap this up, cheesy. I was gonna say something cheesy, like, oh, life does get better and stuff. Like, yeah, but I think everyone knows that, like, to some extent, it does have moments where it gets better, but then it sort of, like, can go low again, like, really quickly or easily. But it's more so a matter of, like, learning how to consistently get yourself through the lower moments. And like developing habits to get yourself through that. And I think that me showing the habits to you is very, very beneficial. Like I like entertaining. I do great with entertaining. I know I'm talking about myself a lot. Because there's one thing we have in common here, and it's life. And like when you're talking about myself, I'm just talking about life in general. Where was I going with that? Your habits, like developing healthier habits. Like I go to the gym so much, except they have like a no filming policy, so I respect that, and I don't like film my workouts. However, I can film at home workouts. and show that, because that is like a massive way of how I get through my mental health. That's a massive way of how I improve my mental health. Even talking like this right now, I'm following, I'm concentrating, I'm on track a lot more with what I'm saying. I'm staying on topic a lot more, and I like that. So I can start doing that. I'm gonna just like brainstorm, I suppose, like what to show. But literally anything. Sometimes we just place way too much pressure on ourselves without even realizing it. And I definitely have done that. Hang in there, or better yet, let go of whatever it is you're hanging on to. For me right now, it's literally the tripod and the camera. 20 minutes later. Cool. Alright. Thanks for sticking around, whoever actually tuned into this. See, like my nails? Well, one's black. Where's the focus? There we go. The other one's orange. What a mess. Look at that. It's so messy. Wow. Getting in the spooky vibes, okay? Lots of Halloween content on TikTok. That's what I'm gonna eventually be posting now within a week or two. Because Halloween's like tomorrow at this point. Excuse me. Oh, I should go brush my teeth, shouldn't I? For my mental health. Your teeth are also mental health related. Okay, I'll go do that. Bye. Have a good night or day. Whatever. Have a good life. Enjoy your life.